Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to Well That Sucks, the place where it just makes you feel a little bit bad for these people. So let's see what it's got. So then, starting right off with, you get a basement apartment in New York City. They said it'll be fun, they said. Oh no, look at that. Look at the amount of water that's flowing in there. I mean, I guess it's a basement, but really, like, is New York flooding? Actually, I think I saw something about New York just having torrential rain, but I didn't realize, I mean, I guess it makes sense that all these kind of things are just kind of filling up. But no, that is insane. I have no idea what you do about that. Like, how do you even prevent that or even kind of plan for that? Obviously, the stormwater system in the city just is unable to cope with whatever is happening at the moment because, well, that's a lot of water just in the place where it shouldn't be. And also, besides the fact that this person has lost their dining room, lounge room, whatever you want to call that room, really, the damages that are going to be ensued after all that water is gone, and I just can't even begin to imagine how much this entire thing, if this is citywide, how much a thing like this would even cost. From all the roofs and gutter systems that I can only imagine would be completely overflowing and broken, and then to things like this where you just go, well, that's an entire apartment gone. Like, it would be devastating. I guess it's the same with hurricanes and cyclones and all those kind of things. Regardless of what the source is, water can just be so destructive, you know, even just add tsunamis to the list. But one day you might just be having a sunny day and then the next is raining a bit. I mean, maybe in this case a little bit more than a bit, and your apartment turns from, well, I guess an apartment into a swimming pool all of a sudden. And so, to be honest, the sheer optimism that we always seem to come across on this subject, I'm like, I would feel as though if your entire apartment and your entire home has been destroyed by water, I figured as though that's a little bit more than, well, that sucks. But for all of these people, they just seem to go, well, that sucks, you know, I guess I'll just be moving on with my life and I'll see what happens next. And considering the fact that this is what we're starting out with, I feel as though this is going to escalate pretty darn quickly. And so yeah, I'm a little bit scared if nothing else. She didn't notice that the ball was flying perfectly towards her. I mean, like I've said a few times with this sub, I would kind of love it if we didn't get the thing spoiled, but look at this, I can only imagine it's just so perfectly encroaching and you're not really looking. Oh man, that was square in the face. That's almost like a guaranteed broken nose. I mean, to be honest, I would love to see it in real time, just kind of gauge how fast or slow her reaction time or lack of reactions actually was, because even though I guess she isn't looking at it, I feel as though generally a bright yellow ball is kind of going to be designed to kind of catch your eye, and it just didn't seem to do that for her at all. I mean, I must admit, even though it has been cropped and zoomed around a lot, that camera operator has done very well to be tracking that ball all the way onto that woman's face. And to be honest, I think my favorite part about the entire thing is virtually no one there actually seemed to see it coming besides the guy behind her. You know, I don't know where the hell everyone else was looking, and they kind of seemed to move a little bit, but no one seemed to get completely out of the way, and they certainly don't seem to kind of mention it to her that the ball's going to suddenly come and hit her in the face. And so it only makes me assume that this must have been really quick. Like, honestly, I can only imagine that it's been a strike on goal, a shot at goal, and so it's going to be coming at some serious speed. But come on, surely you just have some kind of awareness of what's going on in the game. I mean, I guess if nothing else, it certainly teaches you a lesson in terms of just paying attention and keeping your eye on the ball. You know, that's the number one lesson. Whenever there's a ball around, keep your eye on it, because, well, it generally will either slip through your fingers or even hit you in the nose. All in all, though, I definitely feel as though this one is a Well That Sucks. You know, the last one I just felt like was completely ridiculous to be called a Well That Sucks. I mean, maybe you just have great insurance and you just, I don't know, can move out to a better place, but really, I feel as though just getting hit in the face by a ball is kind of, oh, well, that sucks, you know, I might have a broken nose, I might not, it's probably going to hurt, but to lose your entire house and get hit in the face, I know which one I'd rather. I mean, that definitely does not take away from the fact that that would have been one of the most surprising and shock of her life kind of situation that she's ever going to be in. You know, you're just kind of looking over here and then all of a sudden you just get completely taken out. For a second, you probably wouldn't even know what just happened, and then you go, oh my goodness, I just got hit by the ball. I'm never going to a soccer game again. And look, I certainly can't blame her if that's the outlook that she now has, but I feel as though, like I said, I'd definitely be taking this one over some of the ones that I'm sure we're going to be seeing on here. Sunk my four-wheeler while looking at my phone that also sunk. What a strange situation that seems to be in. Let me just, what the hell? Okay, there's the full photo. My God. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand the phone in terms of it going in the water, but where did the entire four-wheeler ATV come into the situation? And also, looking at that, it's not even like it just kind of submerged. Like, it's also been flipped upside down. Like, that's just, there is so many things that have gone wrong in this situation that I would love to have seen a video about the entire thing. I mean, I guess you can certainly still see where this one is, whether your phone is probably completely lost considering it's been run over and mixed up with the entire thing, but either way, like, what is going on here? Is this your property? Why were you just driving into some random body of water? There really are just so many questions that I would just love to have answered, because I don't even know how you go about doing this. Like, geez, Well That Sucks kind of counted when it's idiocy involved? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, even though it is upside down, I can only assume that you were driving there because at some point you were able to stand, and so if you still are able to stand, you should be able to, with enough people, be able to flip it back over. But other than that, I can only imagine that they're mostly going to be unharmed, and I'm sure if you can actually find your phone, that'll probably be the same case, but it's just so baffling to me. How is it upside down? Like, really, that isn't just a sunk vehicle. Like, you somehow managed to flip it and sink it. Like, I don't even know what kind of submersible that would even be called anymore. I mean, hey, I guess I don't really know where else it would fit besides, well, that sucks, and so I guess here it is, but other than that, it just seems so strange, and like I said, it just has so many questions. I mean, you would certainly be asking yourself the question, was it all worth it? You know, you went out, you lost your phone, that's one thing, but now you've actually just gone and possibly destroyed your four-wheeler at the same time. time, and so you go, man, first of all, it was $1,000, let's say, maybe $2,000, depending on which country you live in, and now they've just gone and added a couple more $1,000 to the lost and damages total, and so yeah, the entire thing, you just be going, oh, I just cannot believe, and I just can't believe how someone even does this. And also, thinking about it, what possessed this person to think that a quad bike was going to be the best way to find this thing? Like, really, if you're going to be running over, you're never going to find it. Surely you're never going to find it just by looking at it, and so your only hope is to kind of just rummage around, and really, if you're walking around with bare feet, even though it might not be the best thing, at least you're going to feel your phone if you step on it. And on top of that, I would just love to know how they lost their phone in the first place, whether they're distracted and driving, and that's how the entire situation happened, probably. And so I guess that's just another lesson, don't be driving and on your phone no matter if you're on the road or in the swamp. What a brand new jacket online, found this inside the pocket. Oh wow, okay then, that's a serious kind of breach of information. I mean, I can only imagine that person has probably cancelled those cards by now, because by the time it's actually been shipped to you and been in the jacket the entire time, especially if it's been considered new, I can only imagine they had to go through some kind of washing process. And so even though the cards will be fine, I would be fairly confident in saying that the cards wouldn't be exactly active anymore. But hey, either way, the entire thing is very weird. I mean, obviously the top one is a Visa debit or something like that, but the bottom one, I don't know what that is. I mean, I can only imagine that it's some kind of ID card, and really as a jacket owner or the new jacket owner, you'd be like, oh, is this the person that owned the jacket? Is this the person that wore the jacket, kind of tried it on? Just what is going on here? Because it's so strange to find cards in the jacket, especially because it's not like they found a wallet in the jacket pocket. Like, it's only cards. I mean, I guess if it was a wallet, they probably would have taken it out, because you can actually see that bulge, and cards are going to be a little bit too 2D to kind of not have that happen. But either way, like, who just carries a debit and I don't know what that card is, and then on top of that, to only be carrying 2 cards but then forget that you're carrying those 2 cards, or at least lose them? Like, that's a serious kind of, I don't even know what to call it, just memory blank, I guess. And really, all of that is just without addressing the fact that this is obviously meant to be a new jacket, and this is clearly not a new jacket if that is the case. I mean, maybe it's new, and maybe, like I said, maybe someone just tried it on, and so that's how that entire mix-up came up, and so I guess it's technically still new, someone's tried it on. But either way, it is definitely a very strange thing to find, and really it raises the question, like, did this person buy this online from, I don't know, a person or from a store? Because if it's from a store, that makes no sense. Like, sure, they aren't taking the things off the shelf and then putting them into the online kind of pile. Oh, okay, I've just looked up what the identification card was, and it's a Swedish driver's license from what this is saying, and so yeah, there we go. That at least certainly makes a little bit more sense as to what it is. It's not some kind of RSL membership club card or anything like that, but either way, like, really, to lose your driver license and I can only imagine your main debit card, like, that's 2 big things. So for them to then go all around, like, I don't know how far it went online or how far the distance for actually to get posted was, but either way, for them to kind of just travel in the jacket and no one picked it up the entire time, that's very strange. And so what I really want to know is, obviously it's blurred for us, but did they actually just get these cards back to this person? I mean, obviously they can see the entire identity, where they live and all those kind of things, and so I mean, I can only imagine the card was cancelled, but really the license, I mean, I don't know how quickly the other one comes if you can kind of order another one, but either way, especially with the cards and all these kind of identifications now being on people's phones, I can only imagine that they're using their cards less and less, so it might have not even been known about yet. So I guess in a very weird way, this is almost the first double Well That Sucks we've ever had, like, for the person to lose their cards and for this person to not be able to kind of trust their online store, that's definitely a kind of a Well That Sucks for both people. And what can I say besides hopefully this person got their cards back if they needed them, and otherwise the jacket was just a nice jacket. So part of the automated chicken feeding system broke today. Whoa, that doesn't seem like part of it. I mean, maybe it's a major part and that's why it's just a part, but there's an entire, I don't know, 6 tons of chicken feed all over the ground. Man, hopefully no chickens kind of got squashed under that. I mean, I guess we can certainly see that the culprit of the entire thing seems to be this pipe right here, and so I don't know what kind of broke about it, but I can only imagine that entire pile didn't all come out at once. And so it definitely does raise the question, just how much was the part, and did they know about it? Did they know it was going to fail, and they kind of went, oh, I'm sure it's not going to fail, and then all of a sudden you have this and you go, oh, it literally would have been $50 to save us all of this hassle. But yeah, that would be an absolute pain to do with. Honestly, I wouldn't even know what you do. Do you just kind of leave it there and wait for the chickens to peck through it? I mean, you're certainly trying to fatten them up. I can only imagine, considering the kind of conditions they're in. I mean, perhaps you go in there with a little bit more of machinery and some barrels and kind of just scoop out a whole bundle, but either way, you're going to be leaving some behind, and the chicken's going to be having a nice big chicken feed for some time either way. But honestly, there is so much there. I would love to know. Not that much goes through a chicken's mind, but I would love to know what went through their mind when that happened. They'd just be going, oh my goodness, I don't know what just happened, but it seems pretty yummy to me. And honestly, even the fact that it's basically just a golden pyramid of food, like the entire thing is just glowing for the chickens, especially even just for us, you can see that that thing is just a perfect mound. And I guess in saying that, the strangest thing for me is just the fact that there just seem to be kind of chickens just kind of chilling out, not everyone is flocked. Like really, I would expect that thing to just be covered in chickens, but there's like one guy on top and a couple around the side, and that's it. Let alone the fact that there's still a couple of chickens just eating from the general trays. I mean, maybe they actually don't know any better. Maybe they can't actually kind of recognize what it is, besides the fact that, I mean, I guess over time they'll kind of probably learn, but they're like so ingrained that that's where they go to get their food, that when literally tons of food come crashing from the ceiling and from the heavens above, they just don't even recognize what it is anymore. And so to be honest, originally I was thinking that the chickens were going, oh my god, this is just sweet, this is the best thing in the world, but to be honest, I feel as though this is just a Well That Sucks for for everyone. Because obviously, like I said, to have that much just grain, feed, whatever you want to call it, just all over the ground is certainly not a good thing for the farmers. And for the chickens, like I said, if they just don't know what it is, I feel as though that's not the greatest thing either. And so yeah, this one is definitely just a world that sucks. Flooded basement quickly becomes an ocean. Well then, where is it going to be? I mean, I can only imagine this is going to be another New York City one, but what is it going to be? That is certainly kind of seems to be an ocean, what we're seeing there now, but I can only imagine it's going to be very escalated very quickly. Oh my goodness, that was like a tsunami kind of wave just crashing through the wall. And to be honest, I feel as though generally when you say wall and tsunami in the one sentence, it's not going to kind of be going too well for the wall, and that certainly just proved me right there. My goodness, that was crazy. I want to see it again. Where is it? Even just the fact that the guy's just so casually just walking along, but then for moments later for that entire thing that you almost see like coming through the window just a little bit earlier, that entire thing just barricades the entire wall down. So you could have been caught up in that entire thing, and really I don't know how much would have been left of him, considering the fact that entire, I don't know what it is besides maybe a billiard table or something, just would have been completely taken him out, let alone the fact that all the water weight as well. So to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical or just wondering what an ocean was going to be classified as, but to be honest, I feel as though this one definitely classifies as an ocean. Like it's literally, like I said, a tsunami has crashed through your wall. Even just the way that everything starts to float up, like obviously it's full of air, but it's like it's so instantaneous. That's insane. Like I would love to know, is this just flood waters from New York City, or is this some other natural catastrophe that I don't know about? And hey, I guess what can I say besides the fact that at least the first one that we saw has definitely been one up. So like the first one was definitely just kind of a trickle in comparison to this ocean that barged through their wall. I mean, my opinion definitely still stands about taking the soccer ball to the face over anything else that we've kind of seen on here, but either way, like the entire thing is just insane. Honestly, I feel as though this video just sums up everything to the extreme that I was talking about last time. You know, you're just minding your business, it's a sunny day, you're walking along, and then all of a sudden you have an ocean in your living room. And so yeah, at least we definitely have the right kind of progression of a scale. You know, the last one was definitely bad, but this one is definitely worse. $400 window replacement to steal a pair of $20 headphones I found at Goodwill. Oh, well, unlike the last one, I feel as though the title sums this one up perfectly. Look at that, just a smash window. And oh my goodness, like you'd just be walking back to your car going, hang on a second, what's wrong? Or maybe you didn't notice immediately. I mean, I guess it's on the driver's side, so you're going to notice pretty quickly. But either way, you would just be going, why me? Like, I'm sure there are other cars on the road with definitely more expensive things than a $20 pair of headphones. And so you just be going, oh man, like $400 to fix a pane of glass when you were a pain in the ass. And honestly, these days car glass is so strong. Like, it's actually ridiculous how much you can flex and bend and do all these crazy things before it actually breaks. And so, I mean, I guess, yeah, unless you have like a very sharp point, then it kind of just shatters. But honestly, the amount of effort that you have to go to just to be able to kind of break in and get a $20 pair of headphones, honestly, you'd be better stealing the entire car right that way. Not that that's kind of a better thing, but you know, like if you're going to do all the effort, at least kind of commit to it. Let alone the fact that I can only imagine this person isn't exactly the brightest, and so, you know, they might injure themselves, they can cop glass in the eye, you can kind of lacerate yourself. I mean, I guess it's safety glass, that's a little bit safer, but either way, it's definitely still in the name that the fact that it's glass, and glass is just sharp regardless. And so yeah, like for the fact that it's a $20 pair of headphones, it's not like, oh, I left this thing in the car that was worth $2,000 and they went, oh my goodness, I want that. No, as the title said, it was literally just for some random pair of $20 headphones. Like, who cares? You know, it's only $20. Literally, I would rather just give you the $20 in cash rather than you break my window. Just come to the door and ask me next time and I'll give it to you, unless you're going to threaten to break my window, please. I mean, I guess that certainly isn't a great outcome either, considering the fact that you're getting extorted in some way, but either way, I certainly know which one I'm taking, $400 or $20. You know, it's kind of a factor of 20. But I mean, thinking about it, $400 seems absorbent. Like $400 for a little piece of glass like that. I mean, I guess it's car glass and it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but really, I'm feeling so you can get like an entire front window, kind of your front windscreen done for $200, $150 even. Maybe I'm just going to be being completely ridiculous. But either way, unless it was some kind of hypercar, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get the front windscreen replaced for cheaper than that side pane of glass, which is definitely just doesn't make any sense at all. And it certainly just all add up to you going, oh my goodness, this sucks. And it's basically just rubbing salt in the world that sucks wounds. But hey, I guess like I said, it could certainly be worse. You know, the car could have been stolen. That's an entirely different thing that you have to deal with, and you could have had something more expensive that they're stolen in there. And so yeah, I guess there's worse things, but either way, it's definitely kind of it's a thing that's, well, that sucks, not completely ridiculous like the last one we just had. And so now finally for the top of the month for Well That Sucks, we have my son decided to swallow a nickel and turn 5 cents into 4.4 grand. Oh, that just like, that is a pain in an x-ray, isn't it? It's not an image. I mean, I guess there's an image of an image, but either way, like you're just going, oh, like it's painful both for the child and also for the dad that you went literally, I don't even know what that factor would be, but it's like 200 times, 400 times, no, it's cents, so it has to be like 20,000 times or 200,000 times the amount of money that it's worth. But either way, what can I say? It's just definitely more than Well That Sucks than the last one, you know, by a factor of, I don't know, I guess the last one I said was 20 times, and this one is like, I just looked it up, 88,000 times, and so that's a little bit of a difference right there, you know. I mean, I feel as though one could have been a little bit more catastrophic than the other, and so it's kind of in line in that regard, but oh my goodness, like the fact that one little coin, one little piece of anything, I guess, can just ruin or completely change your entire life. So yeah, I can only imagine the parent you just be going, oh my goodness, why did this happen to me? I mean, I guess like the last piece on it, just like all of these people, why did this happen to me is the second name for what that sucks. I mean, of course, the $4,400 is going to be worth it in virtually every single person, or every single person that can afford it. Even if you can't afford it, I'm sure you just somehow find the money to be able to do it. But the entire thing, you'd just be going, well, that sucks. Like, why did, like I said, just why did it have to be me? Why did this have to happen? And really, I'm just taking every little bit of cash. I'm paying on card from now on. There isn't going to be a single piece of cash and coin or anything like that in this entire house. You know, I don't know how old this kid is, but I can only imagine they're just going to grow up there without their entire life, just no cash. I mean, I guess in saying that, this sub has certainly proven that cards are not immune to well, that sucks moments, but I feel as though it's a little bit cheaper if nonetheless, you know, you didn't actually lose any money, and if you do, then you can kind of just ring up the bank and cancel the card and say it wasn't me, and generally speaking, you're going to be fine, where, you know, if you kind of swallow a coin, you're not going to be as fine. And so look, I guess if nothing else, just everyone can learn a lesson from this post, you know, just try and keep things that are swallowable, and that's why they have little danger tags on different toys and kids' toys, because of this exact reason. And so in saying that, I guess some of these posts can certainly just teach you a lesson. You know, this person has had to sadly learn the hard way, so we can learn the easy way. You know, the person with the headphones, maybe just as a little bit of a reminder so you don't keep anything in your car that you actually just deem expensive. And then of course there's other ones where you just can't seem to do anything about. You know, you certainly can't stop a hurricane just bringing in, or basically the ocean through your front door. And so yeah, there's definitely a range here. But I guess if nothing else, when you see an image like this, or really just any of the posts that we've seen this entire month, just really, it reminds them that life could always be worse in a way. And so like these people always seem to have, it just kind of puts you on a path of optimism, strangely enough. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for Well That Sucks. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithm things down below and let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure to check some of the other videos out now, or hey, maybe even just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss out on one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.